Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3. Hey, hey, hey! Just for Larry. I hope you're well. I'm very happy to be live like every Wednesday on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Twitch to speak about MultiversX ecosystem. And for this, I'll be joined by my dear friend Arno. Hello, Arno. What's up? I can't hear you. Oh, that's why.
All right. Is it better?
Yes, it is.
Brilliant. Technology.
You went to the
No, I'm just got out of my shower, to be honest. You see, now it is more like what you used to. All right.
Yes,
Correct.
I did not recognize you. I would say, okay, where is Arno?
Who's that dude?
We will be just together.
Oh,
Morning.
this is Saint Valentin in advance.
But we're not alone, actually, because of course, audience can ask and say whatever they want in the comment, and we'll try to answer everything. And feel free to send me a message in my DM on Twitter if you want to jump in the space. Of course, I cannot invite everybody, but if it fits or if it's relevant, of course, you can jump in the space to give your word. It's an interactive and open Twitter space, and then filtered. That's why I call it. So today I made a list of different topics that I wanted to speak about with you, Arno. And I would like maybe to start by mentioning that I really love our duo.
Is this on your list?
No, it's just improvisation.
Impro.
It's total improv. No,
Okay.
we are doing something good. because you're more like the good cop of MultiversX, and maybe I'm seen by many I like as the bad cop. And I think the nuance and the balance between you and me are very interesting for the ecosystem. And I think I would never choose another co-host for this Twitter space. I wanted to start by this. I really like to did agree with you live, and yeah, so I wanted to start by this.
Well, it's a pleasure that I have a very similar pleasure, even if sometimes it is a little frustrating. But the most important thing is that I know where you come from, and every time you challenge most of the time, and I know that's why I respect you, out of a place of objectivity, and you're not a hater. So even if some people might think so, I know you're not a hater. And I know that I do hope that you feel the same on my end. You know that I'm not a blind bull. Uh, so yeah, that's where our team makes a lot of sense. So now enough bromance. Let's go.
No, first of all, I wanted to speak about NFT Paris. No, first of all, guys, please repost the link of the space, subscribe to YouTube channel, Twitch channel, put a comment, activate the bell, and so on. If you haven't done this before, please do it. Second, I would like to thank the sponsor of GM Web3, EAPS and Atom. I will speak about them a bit later. Arno, by the way, let's start again the Atom Chronicle next week. I think we forgot about this, and I think it's interesting to educate the community about different topics around the decentralized finance. So let's start again this. I think it's relevant. And especially because xDay protocol will be released soon. So independently of the drama and so on, I think both protocols can be very useful to the MultiversX community, and most of them maybe don't know exactly what they can do, why is it important, how they can maybe optimize their yield and so on. So if you agree, bro, let's do it again. Education is the key. And I think on MultiversX, we still have a lot to learn about this. Me first, and I think the community is eager to do this kind of content. So just asking.
Sure. We would have gotten back to it naturally on the week of the 3rd of March with the launch of USH, but why not bring it back? I've matured a bit regarding the approach, because I think it was very technical when we were talking, live. And you know what? Let's chat in GM Web3 with our community and ask how can we make this something valuable for everybody.
Yeah, you're right. It's for them actually that we do this.
Yes.
Let's do this. Yeah. So I wanted first to tell what I completely fucked up the introduction. You can win $30 in tokens, but just by retweeting the link of the space. So go grab some tokens by retweeting the link of the X space, and I will draw the 2 winners later today. Thanks to our sponsor Atom and EAPS. So yeah, I wanted to start by NFT Paris, which is one of the biggest crypto event in France. It's not just about NFTs. So it's interesting because compared to the last edition, which was focused 100% on NFTs, art, and so on, now it will be 4 events in one, because there will be a RWA and DeFi event, a Bitcoin and Ordinals event, of course, an NFT event, and another one about AI event. So we will be there, Arno and I, and of course, many people from the Web3 ecosystem in general. And for MultiversX, we can mention that Bugas will be there. Rock is organizing amazing side events and with merch, with breakfast, with many things. And you don't need to attend NFT Paris to attend the side events. So guys, if you're in Paris for the next 2-3 days, inscrivez-vous, subscribe. I don't know.
Yeah, just go on the website, look for side events,
I
and
will put the link in the comment, because it will be a good opportunity for you to meet the community. Even if
definitely text DM us because we will be around.
Definitely. Philip, of course, will be there. There will be also Pulpo, guys, AI agent, close to Quack project and so on. I think you know him very well. He will be there. I don't have the list of all the MultiversX guys being there, but there will be some of them. I think MultiversX as a foundation is not there. There will not be a lot of project like having a stand or having a booth or something, but people from the community will be there. So yeah, DM us, list on the different side event to feel, to touch the grass and to feel the atmosphere during this event is very important, and it's free for most of side events. So go and drink for free and eat for free and chat and network and have fun. You will be there, Arno. What are you expecting from NFT Paris, except of course beers?
So personally, I will be attending tonight the Avalanche event. And then I will most likely go to the DeFi event. So see what's what. I have a few builders that I would like to meet in person. So I will do this. And what do I expect? Mostly the unexpected. Meeting people. I think it's after going to several of those events. It's not the main stage that is the most interesting. It is what's beside, what's around. Even if sometimes you have very interesting people on the main stage, but you usually go for the unexpected. So meeting people, seeing if there's network to build, connections. Yeah.
Great. Because you're part of X Alliance, and X Alliance is in the comment. Hi guys. Do you know if there is any side event supported by X Alliance during NFT Paris, or maybe Bugas got a grant for the? I have no clue about this. But if X Alliance is listening to us, the new CM, if you guys are organizing something around NFT Paris, feel free to say it in the comment, and we'll share the link. To the community, because I went to the last biggest crypto event in Paris. It was in France. It was a Crypto XR 2 weeks ago. It was absolutely great. There were a lot of foundation, a lot of people from the supporting Bugas. Okay, great. X Alliance for
I
this.
know Lucas is coming to Paris. So
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope we can meet. Yeah, okay, so it will be great, but I think it's very important for the MultiversX community, foundation projects to be there. In a way or another, you don't need to pay hundreds of dollars to have your logo or to be sponsor of this big event, maybe, but it's important to be there and to represent what MultiversX is doing at the moment. It's definitely useful for one reason, actually, in my opinion, in a very unfiltered opinion. When you speak about MultiversX, either people don't know, either people have maybe nuanced image of MultiversX. If you come, if you communicate, if you're there to explain what is the strength of the technology, of the ecosystem, of the ambitions of the blockchain, it will be easier because if you're not there, people speak for you. If you're there, you can speak yourself. So just for this,
I would even say people don't speak about you. If you're not there, nobody speaks about you. Let's face it, most people in this space don't know what's happening on other blockchains ecosystems, although unless they are active in those ecosystems. So if you're not there, nobody's going to speak about you. So yeah, absolutely. Being there shows that things are happening. Oh, there's this ecosystem. Things are happening on it. They have DeFi. They have cultural projects. They have AI projects. They have,
product.
products. Yeah.
It can be exportable. It can be MultiversX itself. It can be many different ways to.
Yeah. But it's alive.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'll be happy to share some content around the different side events and of course the main NFT event. So yeah, can't wait for this. Let's maybe speak about what's happening on MultiversX. And if you agree, we'll speak about the Twitter space Benjamin and Lucian had with DB Crypto.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a few days ago, but looks like
it was on Friday.
Yeah, but it was during the 7 last days.
That was 6 weeks ago. No, that was 5 days ago.
That's how I feel too. First of all, and it was a long time ago, and maybe laughed about it. I had a very good impression of this Twitter space. Yeah, and people thought I was kidnapped or.
No, but it's good because I was going to let you speak first, but it was, without deep diving into, I will let you start, but it was also my impression. It was one of the strongest spaces that they ever give, because you will tell your part.
No, it's okay. You know what? Feel free to interrupt and to say what you want. It's okay. I will just share a meme I laughed about a lot. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, of course I've seen it.
So I think it was.
Who's the good cop actually now?
Now it's funny because when you check at the comment under my post saying I have some positive feeling about the Twitter space, so many people in a very laughable way said, okay, where is GRM? GRM press 3 if you are kidnapped or something. So this was very, very funny.
Tough love. But you know what? Let me interview you on this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah. So you listen to this space. Before going deep and asking you, practical questions, what is your overall feeling when getting out of it?
The first thing is my podcaster point of view. And DB did a great job. I criticized him in a very unpersonal way, of course, for the space he hosted with Xportal. He was not hosting it. Actually, it was invisible because Xportal team and Alpha Link previous team was hosting this, and DB unfortunately was not able to ask real questions and so on. So I was a bit disappointed about this, because when you decide to jump on a podcast with a podcaster, with a journalist and so on, normally the guy is supposed to do the job, and in my opinion he did not. So that's why the Xportal Twitter space was, in my opinion, completely empty. This space, however, was very well managed by DB Crypto. He hosted it, he organized it, he had real questions, and he asked them to the team. So in a podcaster, in an interviewer point of view, It was very well done. So that's the first thing I want to mention. And I think it's very useful for the team, for the podcaster, and for the community.
Yeah,
So all
absolutely.
is well in this regard. And that's my first thing when I listened to the whole Twitter space. The second part is, of course, as a member of the community, pretty much involved in it for years now. It was the
Just
yeah,
rapidly for context, this space was held to debunk the Benjamin's
correct.
huge post about the MultiversX vision update, roadmap update for 2025. I'll let you continue.
I would not say debunk. I don't know if it's the good word, or maybe I don't understand it. Debunk is to make true in something that could be maybe not. No?
Oh, that's maybe that wasn't how I meant it. It was like
To develop, to explain.
to debunking in the way I said it was okay. We have this massive piece of information and we debunk it. So we take piece of information, we explain it, we deep dive into. So
Okay. So
yeah,
in this with
deep
this
dive.
definition, yeah, definitely. I would say in a very general overview thing that they answered pretty much all the questions, and the atmosphere was very cool. It was fun, enthusiast. It was natural. It was not just empty words, empty sentences like sometimes we can hear from the community town hall or some other communication from the core team. So even in the form, it was very cool. It was very chill, and the answers was focus on the questions. So this also, of course, is something that I like. So yeah, this is
Also,
the all overall.
there,
After we'll deep dive in the different
yeah,
topics, but that's what I liked.
in a very concrete way, the community has been listened to because there was Lucian there.
You think?
Yeah. Lucian, if you look at the feedback on the podcast that they've started, and they are continuing, by the way, which is good. Lucian is a personality that, not everybody know Lucian, and through the podcast, people have discovered that it's not just Benjamin's brother. Lucian is one of the engines of MultiversX, and not just because of his expertise as an engineer and as a leader, but as a person. He's a fun guy. He has a different energy than Benjamin, and he is one of the personalities that people wanted to see more. And so I believe that when both of them go on this podcast like this, it is also as a response because people have said under the podcast, we want to see Lucian more. And so it's not people want to see Benjamin less, it's they want to see Lucian more. So I believe that having the two of them brought also a different energy to this podcast. Okay, so now let's unpack with you, because when the big update came out, I remember you were a bit how can we say that, mi figue mi raisin, but
Yes,
like,
got it.
okay, there are some information that we already knew, and there's not much new things. I remember that we had a debate on this, because I said, well, actually, yeah, there's things that have been there were not new, like the fundraising. We've heard about it, but now at least we have dates. So what's
Do we?
yeah, we have dates.
Dates of what?
I mean, the whole point of this roadmap was to give out dates. So now we have dates.
About the fundraising, you
Yeah.
have the date, you have the amount, you have something concrete.
No,
They are in
of
progress.
course,
It's in
uh,
progress. So
up
you
up
have
to
date.
yeah. But up till 3 weeks ago, we didn't have a hard date for USH, and we've been working on it for 1.5 years almost. So now we have a date, a ballpark for the fundraising
2025.
between Q3 and Q4, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's about xDay, but about the fundraising. Okay, I would like you to find because in my opinion, it would be weird to give a date for a fundraising, so because we know how it works and it can last 6 months
Yeah.
or 12
But
months.
I will have a look at.
I haven't noticed the date that you mentioned, but anyway, yeah, the thread, the post of Benny, I was pretty much a critic about it because it was very long. It was hard to get the substance first. So the form is important, and also about the news or the thing. I think it was a little bit vague in my opinion, and but the community liked it a bit. So okay, let's go. But let's focus on the Twitter space because many things were said in this. Maybe we can start by the expansion in the USA. And the first topic was why now?
Yeah.
And it's an interesting question because we know that they started thinking about the United States at least in last July when first they deposit the MultiversX brand in the USA. It was in July 2024. So it was during the campaign. So they had maybe in mind that it would be Trump and so a pro crypto regulation and politic that will be driven in the USA for the next four
Or
years.
at least they anticipated for it.
Yeah. So it
Which,
was pretty cool.
yeah.
And they explained on this that um, the momentum is perfect, and in the European Union, what I understood is we tried everything in the European Union, but things are not well for a layer one like MultiversX. The regulation is tough. The ecosystem is not really promising. Venture capitals are not strong there. And so we decide to go where things happens. This kind of thing can look like okay obvious thing, but saying that okay European Union and the Europe in general is not the place to be at the moment for the crypto industry, so we need to go where it happens. Just this simple sentence is stronger than a long post saying different bullshit about the opportunity and so on. So this I like it. It was short.
You're a marketer. You can't say bullshit. I mean, some people like to read, some people like to listen, some people like to view. I mean, a good part of a successful communication strategy is deliver the message in every form, because people like to ingest the form in different ways. I love long posts because I like to read. So, that works for me. Some other people would like a podcast more. So I personally got what you just said through the post.
But who are you talking about? This is the point. If you're talking to the masses, if you're talking to the scrollers on Twitter, and X is for this, I'm not sure it's really relevant. But anyway, it's just a marketing point of view. And you cannot be a reply guy saying like different many things, and at the moment saying like very long post with so many topics that it's very difficult to get what is the substance of it. So you need, I think, to choose the way you speak. But anyway, so they spoke about the momentum. So it was, in my opinion, very interesting. They also spoke about the three cities they are thinking to
Exactly. Yes,
open the
true.
office.
True.
We have Palo Alto next to Silicon Valley. We have New York City, and we have Austin. So maybe let's speak about these three cities, if you agree, because these three cities have different benefits and advantages, and I think it's interesting to speak about them. So first of all, I made some research, of course. New York is the global financial center. So you have direct access to the world's largest capital markets and financial institutions. You have a high concentration of the talent pool in finance, technology, and law, of course, because in the United States the law is federal, so it's important to be in a place where the court is pretty much crypto friendly. But it's a very expensive city to do business, to have the compliance ready. Um, and the regulation is pretty much strict, actually, and you have an intense competition with other actors. So you have benefits, you have advantages, and you have, of course, notable companies there. You have Coinbase, which is in San Francisco, but also in New York. You have Gemini, the exchange from the
the Winklevoss is
yes.
yeah.
You have Paxos, you have a Ripple, so you have many crypto companies there. So it can be interesting, but it's very expensive. So I think it will be difficult for MultiversX to settle in New York City.
It depends. If you raise 200 millions, you can have an office in New York City.
Yes, you're right. If you're right,
it is one of the main reasons that MultiversX is going to the US and trying and expanding over there. And if you read in between the lines regarding what Benjamin said about xDay, you feel that xDay in the US will happen when they have big things to announce. And I believe that they will organize xDay in the US once they have raised, and they're going to announce all the things that have been happening, the big ones in this satellite event. But what they said, and coming back to your point, is building a global scale up in Europe is very hard because it is fragmented, regulation, everything that you said. But access to capital markets is very hard unless you build a scale up on a huge domestic market. I don't know, you can build a scale up, a unicorn in the insurance market in Germany because it is big enough. But actually building a blockchain unicorn and raising unicorn type of fundraising rounds where you want to raise 100 million, 150 million plus, in the EU, it doesn't happen. So there are very few markets in the world where you can raise 100 plus million fundraising round, and they're absolutely right. In the US, you will have access to those opportunities. Doesn't mean that they will happen. You need to make them happen. It's not you go to the US and everything will happen.
definitely.
It's not rainbows over there.
I wrote a post about the timeline and hypothesis about how to go to the US for MultiversX, explaining that it could take between 12 and 24 months to be there.
But they've been at it already for quite some time.
Yes, but actually, I think they're in the first step, strategy, choice of the city, networking, and this takes like between 6 and 12 months to understand, to network, to meet the good people, to start the speaking, and so on. This can take months.
I don't think so. I think they're more advanced with this. I believe that the city is discussed with the fundraising partners that they are having, I believe that actually they've talked about fundraising. The dates that I shared, I don't know if they are in Benjamin's post, but then I made a boo-boo. So I believe that they are more advanced. They are in more advanced discussions, and I think that it comes down to those 3 cities, because the discussions with the different partners that they have who are going to invest.
They are in the first step, so discussing. But when on my post, and what I was thinking was about, not just about raising funds. Raising funds is okay, but now you have to create a new ecosystem there, to make partnerships, to develop things, to attract liquidity projects, build things in the USA. Also, the regulatory thing takes months and millions of dollars. So this was on the timeline. But I agree with you. They're in the United States for 6 months minimum. So I think they're in the first step, and it's a good. We need to start somewhere. So no problem with this. So let's speak about Austin. Austin is the second city that they mentioned, and Austin has a lot of advantages. It's relatively lower cost of living there, definitely. Business friendly environment, because Texas is known for its business friendly and lower taxes, of course. We have also good tech talents, and the quality of life is pretty cool. Of course, we have fewer established networks in the financial sector compared to New York, for example. But yeah, we have notable companies there, like Unchained Capital. We have Horizon Labs. We have Blockstream. So there are companies there. So if we see in the comment, for example, it won't be difficult. Austin is the answer. The regulatory system and laws are better in Texas. When you're a company, and if you add to this the lower cost of the living, and of the all the process is less expensive in Austin than in New York or in Palo Alto, we'll speak about it. So in my opinion, this is the number one in the list, but it's just an hypothesis. We don't know, of course, but it could be a good place to go.
And also, maybe you said it. I'm sorry, because I was writing a DM, but maybe you said it. But the time zone. Did you talk about the time zone?
No.
Okay, so MultiversX is going to go to the US, but I would be very surprised if the tech team moves from where it is today. So
it will be necessary, in my opinion. It will be necessary. It will be necessary because regulators and politics wants the team to be in the United States, or most of the team to be.
No. I don't think you're right on this one. You can have an entity in the US. You can have your tech team in Romania, because it makes sense.
I'm not talking about the developers. I'm talking about.
I'm specifically talking about the developers. So I said I would be hardly surprised if the tech team would move. So the tech team will stay in Sibiu. It makes sense, and though not everybody wants to quit their lives and move to the US, and it's so you will have a team in the US, but most likely around the new foundation president. It will be a team that will be more biz dev focused, in my opinion, building partnerships, as you said, and maybe other people will grow in this market. But my point was, time zone wise, it is way easier for them to be on the East Coast than on the West Coast. So being on the West Coast would mean you have almost 12 hours difference in the time zones. So it makes things challenging. So I agree with you. I would be more surprised to see an office open in Palo Alto, for example.
let's speak about Palo Alto. So it's proximity to Silicon Valley. It's important because you have direct access to technological innovation and talent from the Silicon Valley. You also have the proximity to venture capitalists and private equity funds. Networking, of course, is great there, and it's a highly innovative environment, favorable for startups, if we consider MultiversX as a startup, of course. But of course, it's very expensive there, similar to New York. You have an intense competition, particularly in the tech sector. And the regulatory environment is pretty much complex and evolving compared to Texas, which is established for years now. But you have notable companies there, Robinhood. You have, of course, Andreessen Horowitz, A16D, and CoinList. So yeah, it can be interesting, but supposed to raise a lot of money for this. So it's just some inputs for you guys to understand what are the challenge and the opportunity of these cities. So we'll see which one will be chosen. But if we speak about the fundraising, they want to create what they call a war chest and funding to bring external investment without relying on additional EGLD inflation. And they need for that hundreds of millions of dollars. We remember that 2 or 3 years ago, they raised 40 million from different venture capitalists that commit themselves to invest in the L-round ecosystem at the time. Some millions were put on the table for some launchpad like Cantina Royale and others after. But I'm not sure the 40 million were really invested in around the ecosystem. Maybe we should track the amount, but I think it was not 40 million. But anyway, it was the commitment. So we need to understand, and I think the community need to understand, that it will not just be MultiversX rising in equity hundreds of dollars or billions of dollars, but it will be some commitment from venture capitalists to say, okay, we commit in the next 2-3 years, I don't know, to invest, I don't know, like $60 million, for example, or 100 millions of dollars in the different project that could build on MultiversX. So I think it's important to notice that the fund that they are raising is not just in equity to add some valuation of MultiversX, but it's commitment to invest in project startups. So I think it's important to maybe take what happened in 2021.
It's two different topics. There is the fundraising around MultiversX and the companies that they hold. Because I wouldn't be surprised to see joint investments, meaning having a fund investing NX money, NX portal, in MultiversX, having investment partners doing investment rounds in many of the MultiversX companies. But what they're talking about is building a 10-year war chest. So it means MultiversX has been through EGLD and previous fundraise funding its journey, self-funding its journey mostly. This would change with a fundraise. It would mean share the risk and share the reward, share the opportunity. Having some of the funds dedicated to funding the ecosystem, I don't know, to be honest, if it's part of the deal, but in my opinion, it's two different things.
Yes, but most likely the test will be about the ecosystem, not the company.
No, the war chest will be about the MultiversX foundation, labs, etc., funding, making sure that the foundation and the labs, this team, has funds to go for the next years, and then their decision, to what they do with the money. They can do like the SUI Foundation and buy back their token. They can start doing things like that. They can heavily incentivize also. This is things that
I really disagree on this. We'll see. But in my opinion, venture capitalists are not investing in layer one a large amount of money anymore. Or they are on the token sale, for example. But if your token is already issued on the market, I'm not sure VCs will invest hundreds of millions of dollars in a layer one. They can commit to invest these millions in the ecosystem like they did in 2021. But we'll see. Nobody knows.
But doing this, then it's not an investment in MultiversX. It is an investment in I don't know, Hatom, Globies, and it's fundraising. This never happens. I mean, you could have a VC.
2021 when they communicated. I can send you the article. The title was $40 million invested in Around, and it was through the EGLD Sky something fund to invest in EGLD. And
but then it's not VCs coming in and throwing money at the projects. Maybe it is venture capitalists who said we have like what was the name of the Morningstar, etc. At some point they said we have a fund dedicated to MultiversX, but you have to go raise.
Yeah, but Morningstar, for example, they invested in, of course, private sale of MultiversX, but after it was a commitment to invest in the project around MultiversX.
Yeah, but projects need to be built, and they need to go see Morningstar, and they need to pitch, and they need to get the raise. So it's not, it's two different things. Again, it's not because you have a fund saying we are creating a fund dedicating to supporting and investing in this ecosystem that the money is automatically invested. Founders have to go get this money. So
it's an envelope.
Exactly. So that's why I'm not saying this is not happening. I'm saying those are two different things, because what Benjamin is talking about is a fundraising in MultiversX, in the labs or in the foundation, not just a pocket of money for the ecosystem.
So that's why we'll speak about it at the moment. But in my opinion, it will be more than there will be investment on MultiversX lab or in the foundation. I'm sure there will be some, but most of the funds, in my opinion, regarding what happened the 3 years ago, it will be more about the MultiversX ecosystem to attract talent, to attract builders, to attract liquidity, to strengthen the current ecosystem, to develop and go further and so on. I think most of the funds will be for this, but it's just my opinion. But we'll see. Let's bet on this.
Oh, we can.
Okay, let's bet on this. One EGLD, because I'm poor. Everybody knows I'm poor.
Okay, one EGLD.
Let's see. Let's
just, we see many faces here. I seen it was a long time ago, but I don't know if Harry, Offhead Harry from Project X is still around, but hi, buddy. And hello to everyone. Philippe M. Hello, Philippe M.
So we for the moment, nothing is concrete. It's just in progress, in discussion. It will happen. So we'll see. But it's clear. It's the momentum to go in the United States and to raise fund to have a brilliant future for MultiversX ecosystem. So it's okay. It's great. Let's speak about the new tokenomics that they spoke about.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if it's new tokenomics, but they talk about the economics model. It's a bit vague. In my opinion, this is the part that we can talk about it.
Yes, we can. do
But
some hypothesis. We can think about it.
this is a point. It's said. It's very clear. This is going to be worked on. In my opinion, this hasn't even started.
I think they started to think about it because they know that they cannot continue like today. Too many EGLD are sold, and the inflation is like mostly sold on the market, and so it's not sustainable anymore. So that's why, and the community claims for more transparency and maybe for new economic model for the EGLD. So I think they got the point, and they are thinking of improving this. So let's try to understand what they mean. So they are speaking about a major economics upgrade, the first since mainnet launch. How long are you on? And Fred, is it to jump in with you? Of course, Harry. Let me send you the link for you to join us. I will send you a DM on X. Up, Harry. Up. So let's speak about the tokenomics.
Don't call him Harry.
Why? Harry?
Harry.
Okay. You know what? Because it's Harry.
Harry, it's I'm Harry.
Oh, okay. Because you know what? Because when I pronounce, I say Harry Potter.
Exactly.
Okay, Harry. So go back to the tokenomics and what they claimed. So they talked about a major economics upgrade. The goal is new incentive models for validators, builders, and marketing, ideally without adding selling pressure or new token supply. The proposal will go to Agora and through community governance before implementation. That this is what we have at the moment.
Yeah.
So let's speak about what it could be. It's just hypothesis, but we can think about it. So first of all,
we can talk about the problem, because the problem, we have a fair understanding of the problem. And Philippe M, I don't think so, to be honest. So Philippe is saying change in tokenomics, perhaps increased capital for VCs. The fundraising can happen in multiple ways. It can happen through equity and tokens.
Can be bonds also.
The deal will be structured, but in my opinion, the fundraising is happening right now. The discussions are happening right now. They are going to last, for several months. So the tokenomics and the economic model upgrade will be discussed in there, but I believe the fundraising will happen before the tokenomics and the economics model change. So why a change in the economics model? It is most likely to build and to tie EGLD into more how can we tie EGLD in product incentives, in network incentives, make sure that EGLD is tied into growth, into rewarding contributors and changing the model, because as GRM said, there is a 10-year inflation model on the EGLD token, and this ends in 4 years. So in 4 years, staking providers will not receive EGLD out of inflation anymore.
So it will be just based on fees. And
just based on fees, exactly.
You need a lot of transactions to make it profitable.
Actually, you would need more activity than today, but the good thing with MultiversX technology is that it's very cheap to run. So even with an EGLD today at 20 something dollars, it is sustainable for infrastructure staking providers. So it's actually good. And we have loads of staking providers today with 0% fees. And when you think about it, this is nonsense. Staking providers should have fees because they're running a service, and they shouldn't rely solely on EGLD inflation. I would be reassured that our staking providers make money. Then they're incentivized to provide the best service possible. So this is how those are some problems, and so the new economics model is going to rethink how EGLD is distributed, and most likely going to try to create virtuous incentive models, so that EGLD is rewarded to people who contribute the most, or people who are essential to the network. So this is going to be a deep, deep topic, and it's going to last for months. That's for sure.
They say, ideally, without adding selling pressure or new token supply. So ideally, so it's not impossible that the supply increase, but it's not the priority. But first, if we speak about hypothesis, we can mention maybe reducing validator rewards gradually to decrease.
What do you mean?
Oh, to decrease the validator rewards.
Why?
Oh, because to reallocate this EGLD for incentives for builders, maybe to prioritize the like in a performance-based rewards, maybe to reward validators who positively contribute to the network, such as like participating in upgrades, improvements, and so on. And I remember something that Mihai from XNO spoke about a few months ago, saying that there are two types of validators: those who are just running nodes and those who are building things. And maybe it can be an area of
yeah. So aligning the EGLD rewards with most aligned staking providers and validators.
Contributing validators.
Yeah, that's what I'm by aligned, because there can be many forms of alignment. But yeah.
But it's something that can happen. Of course, they can reallocate part of this EGLD for marketing, adoption, maybe to reward users, the most active users on the chain, like such as with like a referral program or rewards for using dApps and so on. This is something that can be interesting. They can reallocate this EGLD for strategic partnerships to increase the visibility and adoption of MultiversX. They can also reallocate this EGLD for staking governance mechanisms. Of course, they can use some of these EGLD to incentivize people to involve in the governance. They can also
this model is so in his post, Benjamin talked about 3 entities: foundation, labs, and network. The EGLD economics model is deeply tied to the network. And so I wouldn't see how, this economics model can be redistributed to partnerships. I believe that partnerships are done through BD, so incentivizing, developing through the foundation, and this is most likely through the fundraising. This new EGLD economics model needs to be tied to the network growth of the network, and it has to be systemic. So it has to work in an automated way. So like this. So it has to be in a systemic way. So meaning it needs to be an economic upgrade that is tied to on-chain behaviors that grow the network. And I would be very interested to see, how AI, especially AIs that are on-chain AIs, how on-chain AIs can help to that end. Because this is where you can be more creative. If you only tie this economics model to automated, transactions that happen on chain, like, okay, we do the inflation is distributed in that way. It is not as creative as if you have an AI that is looking for certain compartments by being plugged into the explorer, and seeing that, okay, in this protocol the liquidity is growing because etc. And so through AI that are plugged on chain, you could be more creative in the ways EGLD can be distributed to people who actually grow the network. But validators, yeah, I see Ceausescu staking. Validators are indeed a core piece of the infrastructure, and it is the level 0. So they need to be at the core of this economic shift.
Yeah, definitely. So it will be a hard balance between continuing to incentivize the staking providers, the people that stakes their EGLD, and also to contribute to the development and the growth of the ecosystem. We can also maybe think about a buyback and burn mechanisms, maybe by using part of the fees to buy on the market and to burn some EGLD to reduce the supply.
So that's why, you talked about removing the hard cap of EGLD, because it is, potentially it could happen. I'm not afraid of this. I would be more afraid of putting limits to this economics upgrade, like what's happening with Bitcoin. Almost religiously saying we can't touch this. I mean, very smart people are actually explaining how the Bitcoin model at some point is going to hit the wall, unless the infrastructure is paid for in a completely benevolent way. If we see this with EGLD, I mean, let's correct it. If it means having, a small uncapped inflation that could be offset through a burn mechanism, as you say, there's many things to think. But let's not be dogmatic and behave like we know everything, and the truth that was set 6, 7, 8 years ago through the initial economic model of EGLD is the one that works, and it will always work. No, let's have a discussion about it. It's healthy.
Definitely, but it will be a strategic move and a systemic move, because the community, but not only the community, but all the part of the ecosystem, the staking providers, the builders, the holders, the whales, the venture capitalists, the foundation, all of them can be impacted by these changes. So it will be a hard work for the core team to make the best choice possible
The
for the
core team and the community.
and the community, because
Yeah.
they will have to vote to the
Exactly.
proposal that the core team will do. So I don't know how it will happen. I proposed a few days ago like a task force for MultiversX involving people from the community on different workshop like DeFi, NFT, tokenomics, marketing, and I think it could be a good move,
This already exists.
which is,
This already exists.
but
The
it's not known.
community task forces with certain people from the foundation to actually discuss about topics like marketing, DeFi. Those exist. They are not public, but they exist
For long?
for months.
Okay. It's interesting to know,
Yeah.
because I heard many people expert in their domain saying, I propose a lot of things, but they don't they don't hear, and there is not like specific workshop on these topics, for example. But you say that it exists.
Yeah, in forms that are not as structured as you're talking about, like with workshops exactly, specifically, but on certain topics.
Telegram, Telegram groups.
Yeah, meetings, etc.
Okay,
But
it's good to know. Good to know.
I mean, it's since X Alliance has appeared, you have had those things happening. X Alliance has had and has still a very positive impact on this, because the team is leaning on the people in X Alliance in certain areas. So those things are happening. The team is way more opened than a year ago. They are leaning toward on people. They're asking for opinion, and again, coming back to this distinction between foundation, labs, and network. X Money, X Portal, they belong to the labs, to MultiversX Labs, which is the commercial entity of MultiversX. But the network, it's Benjamin's message. The network belongs to all of us. This is where he says we're all CEOs, CMOs, CTOs, etc., etc. And that's why the EGLD economic upgrade is going to go through the Agora. It's going to be heavily discussed and studied, and the community is going to contribute, because if it doesn't pass on the Agora, it doesn't pass, because the EGLD economic upgrade model is something for the network. It is for all of us, the validators, the holders, the builders. So it is good that it is clearly positioned as like that. We're going to kickstart the work. We're going to open the conversation to the community, because the community has a say in this. Hi, Harry.
Hello. How's it going? Can
Great
everybody
to
hear
have you
me
here.
okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. So
Hey.
I've got a really old laptop. It's terrible on the camera. It's terrible on the connection. So I apologize.
Works fine.
The sound is perfect, and it's the most important. Hello, Harry. How are
Hello.
you?
Very good. Very good. How are you both?
Very good. Still speaking about MultiversX, as you can see.
Of course. I mean, what other topic is there to discuss?
So many. I'm very happy to listen to hear your British accent. Missed it since X London. It was such a great event.
And I got far less hair than I had at X London as well. Thank God for that.
You can't be called Harry.
Oh no, Harry's fine. Harry's fine. My mother-in-law calls me Harry. It's just normal. It's just normal for me. And I did live in France when I was 8, and they used to say hairy as well. So it's only normal.
Can you say a few words in French for the French community?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Harry. Mon français est terrible. Yeah, there you go. I can
Not
say
bad.
more, but I only do it with Boo Boo when I'm feeling really confident.
Meaning drunk.
Oh no, I don't think I've been drunk with Boo Boo actually. To be fair, it's a missed opportunity.
Maybe Harry, can you tell us your feeling about the last announcements from MultiversX on the post, Benny's post, but also on the Twitter Space with Lucian? We are speaking about it for 1 hour now. We have many topics to speak about, of course, but before we continue, do you have maybe an overview what you think about these last announcements for MultiversX and the ecosystem?
Yeah, I'll go with what I'm positive about to start with. So I'm very positive that we're branching out into the US. I think we've been beating our head against the wall with the EU. Regulation isn't there. They're not very open to cryptocurrency. Especially, I mean, we're not in the EU anymore, the UK, but even the UK has taken a very dodgy stance on crypto. They're still exploring a CBDC, which I'm totally against, mainly because I don't believe in social credit scores in the same way as China and places like that. But I was very happy to hear that the US has ruled out CBDCs. Now, whether that's true, it could just be a rephrasing of what they want to do. You know, oh, we're going to bring in our own US stablecoin.
Economically, CBDCs are for US. It's not a smart choice to go down the route of CBDCs, because you would kill the private US dollar business, on-chain US dollar business, and they have the leading companies on this, and those companies therefore have an interest in pushing the US dollar as a currency worldwide. And we all know that the free market is usually more efficient than a nationalized initiative. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's probably a good rundown of why it was positive that all these stable coins for the US dollar came out way before they even considered a CBDC, because otherwise maybe they would have went a different route. So yeah, you're completely right. Other positive things, well, I not a huge. I mean, it could be good, the change in tokenomics, but it depends what they're deciding to do. I mean, I don't agree with increasing the supply, but maybe there are legitimate reasons. But I mean, this is all going to go to a community discussion first. So I'm hoping everyone will kind of weigh in then. They'll say their ideas. We'll come back with responses. Why is it a negative? Why would that put us off? Whatever. So as long as they're open to a community discussion, I don't want to kind of go it's bad or good at this point, because I don't know what they have planned, and I don't know how the community is going to react to what they think they have planned now.
They can't push it without the network. I like the framing of this. MultiversX Labs can do whatever they want with their companies. X Money, X Portal, they can whatever. The EGLD is the currency, it is the resource of the network, and this is a distributed network. We have over now 3,500 validators. It is, but at protocol design now, being more and more decentralized over time, since staking v4. So they can't push something like that, because EGLD is at protocol level. So if you want to change it, you need to pass it through the network. So it is good that this is going to be, we had staking v4 voted, etc., but it is a very deep subject that only a few people knew about. This one is going to be the most important network topic, discussion, evolution, it will actually reveal a lot to everybody, you know, how is MultiversX ecosystem working together? Because this topic is the key to everything. If, as you said, if we fuck up that economic upgrade, it could destroy the ecosystem.
100%.
So we can't avoid to fuck it up. So we need
Well-
everybody who wants and who can add value to this conversation to step in when the conversation starts.
100%. And that's where it's going to go. That's what they've said. If it doesn't go that way, there's going to be even more of a community uproar because they're going to be like, well, you said you're going to run it by us first. What are you playing at? But no.
Yeah.
A negative I will take from the whole thing is the xDay global. Okay, the fact that we're supposed to have Seoul
We'll speak
last
about
year.
it. We'll speak about it, Harry. So
Yeah.
keep your negative point.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You're not supposed to know, but it's planned to speak about.
Put your gun down. Put your gun down.
So the next topic is xDay 2025.
Pull your gun back up.
GRM just wanted to introduce it before I start talking about it.
Sir, you're free to fire now.
Just maybe to add some context. So it's not clear, but what I understood, but tell me if you understood the same, is xDay in Seoul should be cancelled in favor of a xDay in the USA in Q3 or Q4. It's not clear. They don't say it's cancelled, but they say, I quote, mostly I quote, what is good in the United States is good for Korea, but the inverse is not true. So they prefer to do something in the USA, and it will have an impact in Asia, because if they do something in Asia, it will not bring that big things in the USA. So that's why they decided to focus in the USA and notably about xDay. So that's what I heard, what I understand. But it's not clear that xDay in Korea, in South Africa, which was supposed to be in April, May 2025, it canceled. It's not like said like this, just to be precise. So yeah, Harry, if you want to tell us in what extent it's a bad thing to you.
Just starting on the talking points. I mean, it sounds like a PR justification. I mean, I've been in situations where I've had to do similar PR manipulations of why we're actually doing something. But anyway, let's assume it's correct. I agree. I mean, yeah, South Korea loves America, so they're going to follow along with anything. I would say that South Korea has invested heavily into their cultural department to spread their own culture. So I do feel like also they want to be a powerhouse in spreading influence via culture. So they may have liked the fact that we would go to them first. And maybe they would also teamed up more likely and then spread us at the same time through different things like we feature in, I don't know, K-pop videos or whatever. But that's all hypothetical. My concern, and this is around this, is that we had this last year. It was supposed to be the end of last year. They were going to Korea. They had to backtrack last second. They had to pay out loads of money to people because everyone was on the same line of thought. And then they said we're pushing to April, and now it's April's done. It's not happening. There's nothing. And they're saying, and this is what struck me with what Benny was saying, is, oh, we're going to have an America event, Q3, Q4. It will likely be a satellite, was in the same sentence. So that means if it's Q3, Q4, when are we going to have the full xDay Global? So we've gone 2 years without an xDay Global, like a big main event, something substantive. I don't want to end up with something like Munich, which, no offense to the Munich RWA focused satellite. I mean, it was good, but I'm not going to travel all the way to America for a 1-day event.
Yeah, because they said that the USA xDay would be like a satellite.
Yeah.
It would not be the
So
xDay global.
if I may here, xDay global is a concept that we have never had. So when the whole concept behind xDay global is to unite several companies that are key in the blockchain industry, so foundation, exchanges, VC, etc., to create some sort of G8, G20 of crypto companies. So we've never had this. What I believe is that, and what I understand from what's happening, is that xDay Global was announced with the vision. Most likely it was, and I know it was worked on with the different key partners that they wanted to have for this first event. But then US came in. So for specifically this comment, we need to understand that organizing an event like this means putting money on the line. So having an event in Seoul is going to cost a lot of money to the company, and I agree with you guys. It is this being killed in that way. It is a pragmatic decision, clearly. What I would have liked was a bit more transparency on the reasoning. So basically saying, okay, guys, so we are doing it in the US because, so we're canceling Seoul because it costs a shitload of money and we can only do one. So when we planned to do Seoul, we didn't have all those advancements in the US. And so right now the priority changes. So the global concept is not dead. It's just right now we are focused on the US with the roadmap that we just explained, focused on the fundraising, and this satellite, satellite means only focused on MultiversX ecosystem. So this is going to be to officially reveal what we have been doing in the US. And most likely xDay Global will happen in 2026. So this would have been more transparent, and I would have liked to have the reasoning behind.
I think Arno, you're a nice guy in this topic. You see the good part of it, and it's okay. We need this. I'm
not going to burn down MultiversX for a side event.
In all fairness, neither am I. I'm just voicing my concern about the xDay global
will,
thing. I'm still semi-maxi, so
I will explain. First of all, when they announced the xDay Global, I thought, and I think I wrote, it's not the role of MultiversX in this context to spend that much money in such event, because there are so many crypto conferences on which you can find the key leaders, exchanges, foundations, and so on. So why would MultiversX spend time, resources, money, and so on in such event when you have so many other events in the biggest cities in the world? So I think it was basically a bad idea at the moment. Second, I think MultiversX is not in a position to lead this kind of event because they are at the moment challengers. So why would big foundations join this MultiversX event? And of course, people say it's not a MultiversX event, it's a global event. It's xDay. xDay, it's X. X is MultiversX. So why would foundations spend money in sponsorship, in presence, and logistic to come to this event to make MultiversX bright because they are organizing this? I don't see the point. So I think it was not a good idea. The good idea for MultiversX is to attend these big events and to make them heard, to make them noticed at this event as sponsors, as speakers, with side events, with booth, with something. This is where the money must be allocated, in my opinion. There, what I understand, and I agree with you, Arno, and I'm not talking about 2026, I think they gave up this idea of xDay Global, and it's a good thing, in my opinion. And they will focus on satellites to gather the community, to show off what they are building. And during these xDay satellites, of course, they can invite other foundations, partners, and so on. But I think it was too big for MultiversX, xDay Global, and especially in Seoul. And I will finish by saying that xDay in Korea was supposed to be major partnerships with Korean players, institutionals, cities. And because it's not happening, it says either these partnerships are not made, and transparency would be good, or maybe the partnerships will be announced in another event, in another way. So we keep waiting this because it was supposed to be last November. So in the substance, it's pretty cool to give up this xDay Global, and let's continue to do more regular xDay all around the world to gather the community, to show off and something, and allocate budget to be in crypto events, because this is, in my opinion, the place to be for a foundation like MultiversX at the moment.
Yeah, we agree on the fact that not pushing an event that is a bonus that could actually burn loads of resources that are important right now. Let's imagine that an event like the one in Seoul or Busan cost, I don't know, $500,000, $1 million to the foundation. And let's say, okay, you put the money either on this or you put the money on making US happen, meaning unlocking a travel budget, because going to the US doesn't cost roses. So going there, making sure that every time you go there, you have all the material you need, etc., etc. Expanding to the US, conquering the US to make sure that the fundraising happen costs money. It is an investment. So I agree with you, GRM. Priorities have been set, most likely. Too bad for xDay Global. Most likely an elephant to build for a MultiversX foundation that is right now not a whale. So it is more like a smaller animal. So yeah,
Harry,
we agree on this.
what's your take on this?
I like the idea that they may be, if what you say, GRM, could be a reason behind it. I would love it if they are allocating more budget to going to more crypto events, just like big conferences, because this is where you touch base with people who aren't already in the ecosystem as well.
Last year, they did it a lot. They
Yeah.
were everywhere last year.
I mean, I think for things like NFT Paris, for example, there should be some kind of presence, but they should be paying, say, community leaders from
Yeah, but
different
truth be
NFT
told,
projects.
NFT Paris was really not good last year.
Oh, was it not?
No.
But maybe if you could. Oh, G-
No,
GRM, you're
no,
saying?
sorry, I was just
Oh,
asking Arno for stop interrupting because the sound cannot allow two people to speak at the same time. So please let people finish. Thank you. Yeah, Harry.
you've been told off, aren't I? um, yeah, well, I still think with these events like NFT Paris, etc., even if they're not particularly amazing, if you have local communities, well, NFT Paris, so we're talking like Dinovox, for example, or anybody like this who's in the country, or X cards and stuff. Like, get them to go to NFT Paris, pay for their train ticket, whatever, pay for their fuel. A lot of them will drive; they'll happily drive, and just get them over at the event. And get them talking to people about MultiversX, about what they're building there, and how good the community is, and how they managed to get or sell out their collection and do really well. Blah 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 blah. You know, I think we should start sending community leaders, not just core team members, to these events, and there should be some kind of pot for that. And I think that's where X Alliance kind of should come in, is that if there's an event like this, which is local, and we know we have people in the country, just pay for that fuel, pay for that ticket.
I agree. It's important to support, but there are different topics on what you speaking about. We have the ambassadors. The ambassadors are not necessarily building a project. It can be just very involved members of the community. And we can see it on Avalanche, on Polkadot, on many other ecosystems. And they gathered a group of hundreds of ambassadors, could be 50, could be 20 on MultiversX, we don't care. But these guys should be granted to attend these events with some merch. And it's not that expensive.
Bro, I mean, when you see this, when you see the Solana super team gathering, yeah, around, etc. I mean, it costs money, and yeah,
It's not what I'm speaking about. Super team is something like X Alliance. It's something different. I'm talking about gathering people from different countries and make them people attend this event to represent the MultiversX ecosystem. For example, when I was, it's not that expensive. For example,
if you talk about 20 people coming to Paris, you pay for the flights, the hotel. It's directly, it's €10,000.
No, because in France you have people, and in France you have people that are living next to France, so you don't need to bring people from the USA to French event, for example. So you have people from the community in many countries, and I think you need to support them to go to the event, to send them some merch. It's not expensive, and you can like create a group of ambassadors. They will not be paid for this. They will just be granted for some merch, maybe. And you know what? The tickets, most of them you can attend by for free to the event. You can earn tickets by so many different ways. So when I went to Crypto XR in France, for example, 2 weeks ago, you have like, it was maybe 10 people from Avalanche ecosystem, just members from the community. I talked to them and they told me we're not paid to be there, but the foundation gave up, send us some sweatshirts, some t-shirt and so on. Some of them who could not buy tickets or earn, the foundation paid for the tickets. And so they are here. And so Avalanche community was there speaking to people, showing the logo and making them present at the moment. If Harry, you need to go, don't worry. And if you want to come back, just let me know. Okay.
Is it okay if I just mute myself and turn off the camera while?
I will remove the camera and you just ping in the private chat so I can add you back. Okay.
Perfect. Cool.
So it can be done and it's not that expensive. This is the ambassadors, so people from the community, and they're so loudly, they speak loud during this event because they are here. Another topic is about the project. For example, Bugaz, and I know X Alliance is doing things around this, incentivizing project to organize side event and so on. So it's okay. Maybe we could have more, but anyway, it's something that they're doing and it's a cool thing. And you have the core team members. In my opinion, core team members should have 1, 2, or 3 people at every main crypto event in the world. It's necessary for them to go there, to network, to feel the community, to feel the innovation, to feel, just to meet people from the community that are here. And this too is not that expensive. Sending 3 core team members, it can be Benny, but it can be also so many other people from the foundation.
If you take event per event, it doesn't appear like inexpensive, but actually when you do this, you build a budget for the year, and it is, in the end, you send 3 people to every major event. You make sure to have your ambassadors taken care of, etc., etc. At the end of the year, maybe it's 200, 300K, for the full year.
It's nothing compared to X Global. Just as an example, it's nothing compared to this. And I think you overestimate the cost. Really, I think. Because main crypto event in the world, you have maybe 20 in the year. Main, biggest, with more than 5,000 people. You don't have that much. Of course, you can choose. Maybe this one I go, this one I don't go. But since January, it's been 1 month and a half. They're not there to any crypto event. And just in France, because I talk what I know, we have 2 big events, Crypto XR and NFT Paris, with more than 5,000 people. And it's not that expensive. And I saw many people from other communities, and I was like, there's no one from MultiversX, or just maybe me, some KOLs from France, 1 or 2 builders, but it was not granted, it was not supported by foundation. It was just on our own. So I think there's something to do with this, and it's not that expensive. Trust me, it's not that expensive. Just a few Ks of dollars, and I think it's worthy. It's
a few Ks, but if you multiply this by 30 over the year, I mean, look, for example, for xDay Munich, I mean, we've sent from Hatum. I booked the flights, I booked the hotels. We sent 4 people over there plus an ambassador. It costed us, around 2.5K.
Okay.
You do this 40 times.
Yeah, so it's okay. It's a foundation. It's a layer 1, brother. It's not a DeFi protocol. It's a layer 1. It's one of the they have ambitions. They need to spend that
money. They need money. They don't have the money today.
Again, they planned to organize an xDay Global in Seoul. So they had the event budget for this.
Yes.
It's 10% of this budget to be there on main events all year long. I think this is something that is not
but last year they were at every major event. Well, I mean, we've forgotten this. They were at every major event.
We did not. They were at Proof of Talk. They were sponsors. They were at Paris Blockchain Week. So they did it.
They were at Token 2049. They were main sponsors. They were in Dubai. They were sponsors. They were, and
it's cool. But I'm talking about the community, because the core team is cool. But who?
Yes, we lack an ambassador program, and we lack an ambassador program done right, completely. And there were discussions about an ambassador program back in the days.
I remember.
Then X Alliance happened. Let's see if, again, resources. I'm not in the books of MultiversX, so I don't know.
Nobody's here.
But
if you agree, let's move to the next topic. Let's speak about FebruAIry, the new sequence of MultiversX. There are two things about this. In a marketing way, let's start by this. Announcing a monthly sequence on the 11th is, in my opinion, not a very good move. If you want to announce the month of AI, announce it on the 1st of the month. So you have the whole month dedicated to AI. So doing it in the 11th looks like we needed to do something. So let's do it now. And okay. Second thing is about the timing. I posted this morning something about the AI narrative, the crypto market cap, and the top of it. It was on November, December. And looks like, for people like me, just scrolling, that MultiversX is waking up about AI when the top is over. So I'm afraid that, again, MultiversX don't have the good timing. It was worthy to speak about it on September, October, to be there for the top on November, December. But again, we focus on AI agents and so on when the narrative is pretty much declining. So what do you think about this? Because maybe I'm wrong, and I just say it like I thought this morning when I woke up. So what do you think about this?
I think you're absolutely right regarding the communication strategy, that launching a FebruAIry communication on the 11th instead of the 1st is a bit peculiar. So yeah, on that front, completely, they could have done better. Regarding AI, I think you need to restructure your thoughts about AI, because you're talking on a speculative perspective. From a speculative perspective, AI is not a narrative. AI is a global technological shift, and it shouldn't be treated as a narrative. Artificial intelligence is going to be there. It's going to accelerate. It's going to eat up everything. It is the strongest technology since the, I don't know. I don't know. It's like inventing the fire. It's like finding how to master fire again. It is not a narrative that blockchain MultiversX is surfing onto. MultiversX is steering its ecosystem towards becoming more and more AI friendly, because AI is going to stay. Now, I mean, AI is going to be everywhere.
You know why I am a little bit disappointed? Because Benny has been talking about AI and blockchain for years now. So MultiversX would have been great to be on top of this topic, this particular topic, because it's not new on MultiversX.
What it means to be on top?
I mean, providing the tools to attract builders to build around AI agent, because you're speaking about speculation, but speculation is not bad. Speculation finances the innovation.
No, I'm talking about narrative.
I'm not talking about narrative. I'm talking about.
You used the word narrative.
Yeah, but the narrative.
I'm afraid that.
I'm not talking about AI. I'm talking about AI agent, because when you see what they talk about is about providing tool to attract builders with the growth game, with ELISA partnership and so on, to enable and to attract developers, builders, entrepreneurs to come and build AI agents on the chain. In my opinion, they did it too late. Just at the moment I'm speaking, because maybe the hype will come and it will be the next big move on MultiversX. But let's be clear, what's happening on Ethereum at the moment? They missed the meme coin narrative. They missed the AI agent narrative because everybody launched it on Solana. So Ethereum is having a big of troubles at the moment because they initiating the NFT and the DeFi thing, but not the two last things, meme coins and AI agents. And I am afraid that MultiversX again is out of the timing. But again, it's just a thought this morning, seeing the charts of the AI agent. And so, yeah, I wish it would be possible to build AI agent on MultiversX before.
I think we need to be humble. MultiversX as an ecosystem, as a foundation, we are a player that has interesting cards up our sleeves. We have a very strong infrastructure that can scale through sharding. But, you know, right now, in terms of daily active addresses, in terms of TVL, we are a mid-scale blockchain ecosystem. So let's stop trying to be trendsetters, because it's not going to happen. Because at least today, because trend setting requires mind share, voice share dominance, and this means shitload of money. Because to dominate the mind share, you need to leverage social media. So you need to highly incentivize, pay for marketing to make sure that you align everybody, key players, to create a trend. MultiversX ecosystem is not capable of doing this today. So I don't think that today having Benjamin, Lucian, and everybody starting to talk about AI is about a trend. It's about opening the MultiversX builders, making sure that they dip a toe in this technology stack and make sure that they become more AI friendly. It's because this is the future of everything. AI is going to be the future of blockchain. It is the future of everything. So
we agree on this, of course. But I think despite our role of a challenger, we can be good. We can get a good idea of what's being done elsewhere, and to ensure that we're surfing on the narrative before they end. That's my point.
Look at what some of our builders are building AI related. Yes. I mean, look at Joy AI that is being built by Mika. Look at the combination with this and Warps.
Great.
This is when you take this technology and merge it with what the MultiversX technology can do, you have formidable things coming out of this.
Yes, but I'm not talking about the builders. They're doing what they can. But let's have a look, for example, at the growth game, which is a big grant, $1.5 million to attract builders around AI. Not only AI, but most of the grant is for AI project. Okay, they launched it on December 20th. Okay, the AI agent narrative started, we can say maybe August, September. So there's 3 or 4 months without launching something big around this. We haven't attracted anyone on the chain. So only existing builders did something. You're speaking about Misha, Pulpo, and so on. So that's why I'm saying we need, and I think the foundation has this role to see what's happening everywhere. And it was the same for meme coin. We arrived so late. It was the same for NFTs. We arrived so late. So it's just an area of improvement for the next narrative. If we want to attract builders, liquidity, users, and so on, I think we need to have a better time to market. This is just my point.
Yeah, but it's a speculative standpoint, which I respect because it is an important part of our industry. But when I see MultiversX pushing towards AI, I see the foundation pushing towards AI. I see a foundation that wants to make sure that builders on MultiversX don't end up, not leveraging this great technology because in the end it will become a competitive advantage rather than surfing narratives. AI agents are not going to go away. They're going to be improved over time. They're going to be better at what they do. So, what's important is that we have some builders actually building the tools on MultiversX so that then other builders can leverage those tools. And the tool with an AI agent that is connected on the X API to post is just the tip of the iceberg. What's interesting is what can you build on chain? And to be honest, in every ecosystem right now, we're still in research and development. We've seen exciting things. I mean, the Luna AI, I don't know if you've seen this. That's in a way that's kind of mind baffling. It's an interesting experiment. Those are cool stuff.
I think we've been told for years that we don't give a damn about narratives. We're working on the backgrounds for the result in the next few years. We made the same mistakes with XWord, XFabric, NFTs, now agent AI. I think we are in a world where the timing is very important. So let's try for the next one to be as close as possible to the good time to market, to allow and to attract builders to do things on MultiversX. That's what I'm saying. And I think it's important to make MultiversX great again. Let's speak about Pell network. It's not about MultiversX directly, but it's the last X launchpad, and they announced the postpone of the TG of their token, the Pell token. It was planned to be launched tomorrow, but actually they announced yesterday that they decided to postpone the TGE because they are in touch with big centralized exchange, which forced, maybe motivated them to postpone this. I saw on Twitter something pretty bullish. I will put it in the comment, and I will share it to you guys. No. Yes. There you can see that there will be a Pell airdrop on Bybit and on Binance. So I don't know if it's an information that Pell will be listed on these exchanges, but it can be very cool for Pell network, of course, but for the ecosystem too, because Pell will be a multi-chain token on Ethereum and on MultiversX. So that's why I understand with this postponement. Just to be clear about the information, if so the unlocking of public sale starts on February 28th, but if the TG occurs after this date, participants will receive not 33% like it was planned, but 44% that they will receive more tokens that was planned before. And if users don't want to wait, they will be able to request for a refund directly on XLaunchpad platform. And request for refund will start tomorrow until 20th. So if you guys don't want to wait for a few weeks, but because it will be in weeks, you can ask for refund for your investment. So yeah, that's the information that we have. And hi back, Harry. Did you follow the Pell postponement of the TG of the token? Is it something that you are interested in?
I'm directly invested in it. I won tickets, so I have been following along. I do think it's probably a bullish thing, to be fair. I haven't actually felt any urge to get a refund, to get my investment back. I think it's good if they're launching on more central exchanges. I mean, if they're doing it all at once, and the reason they don't want to just give us all our tokens then and there is because we're just dump the market, and they all have a not so strong launch on all the central exchanges at once. So I think there's some good reasons to do it, and I'm not going to ask the refund. It's great that they offered that. I mean, I mean, they went against the initial schedule, and they were like, "Well, we're changing it, so you can have your money back." I think that's amazing.
I 100% agree about the marketing is pretty cool, because those who wants to wait, they will have more tokens at TGE, and those who doesn't want to wait, they will be refunded. So this thing is well handled by the team. So yeah, agree with you. I don't participate in XLaunchpad, so I'm not involved. But I received the CEO for an AMA a few weeks ago. It was very interesting, and I had a very positive feedback about this AMA. I asked him all the questions, even the tough ones, and he answered all of them in a very precise and transparent way. So yeah, I'm pretty much positive about what they are building. Still waiting to know what they will do on MultiversX related to sovereign chains and so on. But they are transparent by saying that we are thinking, we are studying the different opportunities. We don't want to promise things that will not happen, but we are definitely considering building on a sovereign chain. But anyway, the liquid staking tokens will be used to secure sovereign chains. So yeah, I'm pretty much positive about the announcement, the marketing, and the different choices for investors. So yeah, 100% cool stuff. Arno, do you have a take on
Not
this?
much. I agree with you guys. In tech, it happens, to reschedule stuff. As long as you do it transparently. And I didn't know about the refund option. Super fair. So great job on this. And did they announce another hard date for the TG? Yeah.
Weeks.
Okay.
Weeks. Later date, and it will be in weeks. But if the Binance and Bybit thing happen, one of them or both of them, it can be very cool for XLaunchpad, because it was long ago. I think it's the first time that a token launched by XLaunchpad is listed on such tier 1 exchange, centralized exchange. So it would be a good record for XLaunchpad when they will want to attract new projects, saying, hey, the last one was listing on Binance, and this is huge. So yeah, GG If
Yeah.
it happens, if it doesn't happen, it's okay. It was not officially announced. It's just some screenshot I got on Twitter. But if discussions are in progress, it can be very cool for X Launchpad. Definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised that this is tied to market timing. Maybe, you know, it's ready to be listed, and what they want is to wait for the right market conditions. Because launching your token when you're in a shitty market phase, especially when it's a new token, people don't want to take risks. So they might think that, you know, it's better to wait.
I think there has to be some credit given to the X Launchpad's team as well. I think their ability to attract Pell Network, even to use their platform, and also what I hear is the stellar support that they give to these projects in the background. I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of refund offer is more to do with them rather than Pell Network. And that's something that they've kind of advised on to make people, you know, the community happy about the change in circumstances. So I think there needs to be some credit on the change that X Launchpad has kind of gone through. I mean, they've added a lot of features in terms of like the challenges and stuff like that to get more tickets
Yes.
to people who are engaging with
With the
their.
Horizon and Pulsar network, they are
Yes,
working closely all together.
they
Stefana,
are.
Alex. But I need to mention that Pell Network chose MultiversX after they meet Benjamin and Lucian. It's important to mention that this discussion they had in Singapore, I think it was during an event an event in 2024. This discussion made them choose or study MultiversX, and so of course X Launchpad is doing a great job. But the CEO confirmed that it was the discussion with the two founders that gave them a very good idea of what MultiversX could bring to their protocol. So we need to mention the role of the co-founders to attract with their mindset, with their, I don't know, like behavior, with their
Doing
presence
quotes.
and so on.
But no, maybe our CEO is doing a all right job then. If they're attracting people like this, maybe we need to give some credit to Benny.
Yeah, because when he needs, when he deserves, I'm the first to, to give him credit, of course. Thank you very much, guys. It's midday, 2 hours, and we spoke about all the topics I wanted to. Is there anything that you want to speak about? Or if not, we can, we can close this show. You decide.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
the first time in a while that we close at noon.
No. I mean, as a closing, you know, sequence. First of all, I enjoyed a lot today because we've been unpacking some seriously important stuff. Thanks, Harry, for coming and giving your perspective. But yeah, 2025 is a very important year for MultiversX. It feels a lot like a make it or break it moment, actually. So stakes are high. Fundraising, now that it's been brought on the table, it cannot be taken away. So, you know, like if you move to the US and you announce a 20 million fundraise, I think it's like not having a fundraise at all. People now have those expectations, and
Lower your expectations, brother. Lower. But you know what? I think there will be maybe 50 or 60 million for MultiversX, and all the rest will be for the ecosystem. That's my bet.
I strongly disagree with this.
What do you think, Harry, about the fundraising? And it will be the last part of the show.
The fundraising, I think, I'll be honest, I think they'll go towards the working products rather than specifically looking at the chain itself. I just think there's more proven use case on that stuff, and it's something that their competitors in their particular area. I am worried that they're going to look at performance problems on the chat, like discussions on Twitter. I mean, they won't look at Twitter. I don't, but I think there's a division in the community right now, which is quite obvious. And I don't see as much positive posting as I see negative posting, but I could be an echo chamber. I mean, like personally, if I was to be openly honest, like I think my faith in MultiversX wavered the most in this last month, uh, than more than any period during the bear. I've always been happily a huge holder. Well, I say huge, a moderate holder of eGold. I have a lot of my focus on MultiversX. And I build here, or I help build here. I'm not a dev. I am more of a project manager on these things. I talk to people like Boo Boo and so on, and we create the vision that I have in my mind, and we see what works, what doesn't work, etc. But I, I don't want to elongate the show. You were very happy to be finishing at 12, but yeah, my faith in Multiverse X has been shattered, largely due to attitudes in the space from top builders.
The answer is growth. Always has been, always will be. And in my reaction post to Benjamin's update, I was pretty, transparent on this status that MultiverseX growth has been stagnating as an ecosystem for, I said 1.5 years. And when growth stagnates, it is a slow death for tech companies, because those are beings that want scale. So if you're not growing, it means your recipe doesn't work. So this is why I am welcoming this US shift, etc., as a new strategy to try to reignite growth through various pillars: fundraising, moving to the US, etc., which is good. It is very ambitious. It is very risky. But I'm not investing in a layer one blockchain for it to play like a regular company who wants to compete for crumbs. So that's why, to me, 2025 is a make it or break it moment for the MultiverseX ecosystem, because either you manage to double down and on those pillars, you manage to fundraise, you manage to go to the US, and then you have a different point of view, and you can play a different game. If you don't succeed, in my opinion, it will mean slow death.
And I think it's important that this, with the growth, we will see a dilution of the bad actors in our space as well, because there will be more challenges, more people to speak up about it, and their voices will slip away in the stream. Same with like the bad sector of maybe cult-like following to these bad actors, is that their voices, like when you have like 40 vocal people, but you only have like 200 people who are active on social media, that's like 15%, 20% of, of everything. But when you start having more people come in, that percentage gets less and less, and that cult following will probably not grow, mainly because these attitudes that are perpetuated in these groups are not attitudes that are important to Americans, for example, or they don't agree with these kind of behaviors. So it will get less and less. And I think that's the only thing that kind of keeps me around at this point. I've never been a price action guy, by the way. I don't care that EGLD was going down, 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 etc. I mean, obviously my bags were hurting, but I was never like, I'm going to run away. I was like, well, it's just market behavior. Money goes to where the hype is. Fine. That's all good. I still like how easy it is to use MultiversX. I still like the security of MultiversX as a user as well as a builder.
Okay,
So
Harry, thank you.
yeah, sorry.
We could continue for 4 hours, but you mentioned something that we were supposed or I wanted to speak about, but I actually changed my mind because we thought we'd talk about the history of Project X and Border Battle, but I think it's all been said on Twitter, and I did not think it was ethically right to have just one version on the show.
Makes
So
sense.
that's why I decided not to talk about. But if people wants to know more about this, I think everything is like documented and it's present on X, and everybody can make their own mind. I have my mind. I posted about it, no problem. But on GM Web3, I'm trying, to make things as ethic as possible. So that's why we did not speak about this because we only have one version. So I hope you understand, and I hope the community understands too.
No, that's completely fair enough, and that's part of the reason why I wasn't naming names as well.
Yeah,
I
but
was talking more
everybody
broader.
understood.
Everyone understood. Well, everyone who understands will be in the know, but otherwise, it's not to point fingers.
No. I just wanted to mention before we close. Thank
It's all
you
good.
very much, Harry, for coming on GM Web3. You are always welcome. Arno, it was a great show. Like always, we tried, to make some hypotheses, try to enlighten the community with different aspect of what's happening in the ecosystem. Let's meet at NFT Paris, and let's meet next Wednesday on the new GM Web3. Take care of yourselves, guys. And